First of all, many thanks to everyone for still being here after so many hours and so many sessions. Stay with us, as I've said, for the next 15 minutes, and then we'll let you all go and enjoy Bucharest. The purpose of this session was for us to actually wrap up SEEDIG for you, but I think it's better if you wrap up SEEDIG for us. So any thoughts on these 2 days, any key takeaways, maybe suggestions, recommendations for SEEDIG itself, for the region, for the digital development of the region? I know it's late and you're probably tired, but I'm sure these 2 days you have thought a bit about what we were discussing here and you must have some key takeaways. Any volunteer? I also have a bad habit of just going with the mic at people, so we have a volunteer.
So hello everyone. So actually I just saw the program as a computer science student from Albania. Actually I'm studying, I'm in the second year at the American College of Thessaloniki. And as a youth school participant, we also had the chance to go through some courses and everything. And this was the very first introduction, I mean, into not just internet governance, but actually all the things that are going through, whether that's technological infrastructure or social impact that technology has or everything. And I have to say, even though we are the new generation and we should know even more in technology, I'm for sure, I know that most of my colleagues back at school, they are not doing such of discussions, even though they are in computer science and they've been involved into such kind of issues. And that's actually a big issue, because if we don't know the impact of what we're going to be studying for the rest of our lives, if we don't know the impact of which will be the positives and negatives, but just concentrating on the technical stuff, then you are developing something without purpose. And I think the purpose is not just important for a company, it's also important for your own life, for your own ambitions, and knowing that you can have a positive impact by gathering with others and trying to solve solutions. I mean, we didn't solve anything. I can say that the more we are talking about those issues, the more we understand that it's even more complicated than we even started with, but at least it opens the discussion and the floor to talk even more and understand that there is an impact, there is an aftermath of what you're doing. So there is the responsibility of those at the tech community that when they are trying to build something, they should also think about those things. Like, should they release this thing just because for their own ego, or should they just see the impact, like how this will go into the social community and everything, how this will impact the region or everything. So I think it was really nice to just talk about these issues, to meet new people, new friends, and I just hope I'm looking forward into such events, and yeah, have a nice evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Stefan. Anyone else? If not, I'm going to look for our supporting organizations or key partners who are still in the room. So if you're still here, maybe you're out of luck because I'm coming with the mic and I'm going to Daniel.
Thank you very much. It was our first time as Cluj IT Cluster to be present in SEEDIG, and I must say that I love it very much to be here together with you. I'm very much appreciative of what Sorina and the executive committee has done in the preparation of it and in running it. And I like the spirit, I like the debates, the different of opinions, and the new stuff that was discussed, and the new ideas that I'm going home with. And I wish that for the future we're staying close and closer to SEEDIG and contribute much more from now on. So thank you and keep up the good work.
Thank you also, Daniel. Cătălin, CNSPA.
Thank you. I'm representing here the academia. I'm for the fourth time at SEEDIG. Not too much to say. The people who spoke before me said mostly everything, and those that have been yesterday to the evening cocktail we had said the same. So my question is when we will meet next time and where? Yeah, thank you. And I might need an answer.
The answer will come. We have a hand here.
Yeah. Well, I would like to first to say one thing. This is the third time that I was trying to get to this meeting. But last year and in 2017, something happened in between, and I couldn't join. I wanted to join because I have the feeling that Southeast Europe is a very lively region where new things happen and new energies are being developed and new roads are built. And so I was eager to come. What I have to say, what I take away from this meeting is that I was right, if I may say so. The impression that I have is that there's a lot happening in this part of the world, and this can be how can I say, also showing the way of solving issues with a more practical point of view that you have in this part of the world than in the Western Europe where I come from, where things tend to be a little bit sclerotic and bureaucratic, and so I appreciate this new way of doing things. I also see that there are lots of young people and young generations, and that's the future for us, for developing the internet in ways that are different, also different from what we have done in the past. So yeah, I'm also curious to see when the next SEEDIG will happen, and I will do my best for attending.
Thank you for joining us, and you are welcome next year as well. Anyone else in the room? If not, I'm going to Eric, Interland.
Hi, I'm Eric from Interland. It's my third SE meeting in the last 3 months. I went to a peering days in Zagreb and to the RIPE SE meeting last month in Sarajevo. So it was the first SEEDIG meeting for me. It was very interesting meeting, very nice and interesting topics. And also it was very nice to see friends from RIPE SE and from ISOR here. Thank you very much, and I will attend the next one, of course. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. I'm looking around the room. I don't think I see more hands. Anyone would like to give us some final feedback? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you have suggestions?
Hello, I'm one of the participants to the SEEDIG of school. I have a very a short message for the tech community. We were talking about the automatization and the disappearance of the workplaces. And what I see when people are talking about the adapting to the market, they forget that the burden of this adaptation more often than not lies on the poorest of the poor. So my message is that to those who are in the tech community, to those that are developers as myself, don't be closed in this bubble, this shiny bubble of innovation and absolute prosperity or this optimism. Just think and remember that there are people that are much poorer, that have no possibility, time, energy, or money to just take and switch their profession, to switch their, well, to learn new skills, etc. So it inevitably turns to a political issue, to a societal issue. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you also. And we still have two more supporting organizations here. The Council of Europe, Irina, I'll ask you.
Surprise, yes. Thank you, Sorina, for having invited the Council of Europe. Traditionally, the Council of Europe supports the Internet governance dialogue in both Eurodigs and IGFs, and now we have been very glad to have been able, through our office in Bucharest, to support the SEEDIG as well, especially as it was at home in Bucharest. For us, it's important to, as the Council of Europe, it's important to advance also the narrative of human rights online. And as an office specialized on cybercrime, it's important for us in Bucharest also to tackle this issue as well. So we are looking forward for the next edition of SEEDIG, and we are glad to be part of the family of the Internet Governance Dialogue, and looking forward to seeing you all again next year. Thank you.
Thank you also, Irina, and everyone.
Hello. The only thing that I wanted to say is that to suggest to the organization teams to have more information about events like this one, because I believe the whole youth school want to participate in such events, and we would like to be more available to have information on how to participate and how to contribute. Thank you.
Thank you also. And Andrea? You're still writing your notes. It will be long.
No, it won't be long, but otherwise I forget. So what I really liked is that this is my fifth series. Okay, you see what is the effect. Yeah? I'm ready into the future, that's why. I think that the quality of the discussion has been probably the highest ever. I really enjoyed all the panels, so congratulations to all those that spoke, to all those that made questions, the way the panels were formed. I think it worked perfectly. I think it's an evolution from what the other IG are doing, and it works very well. The organization has been flawless again, so congratulations to you, the executive team, the interns, the fellows, and the youth school. I mean, the youth school is a jewel. The youth school has been, holding through till the end, contributing, presenting the most, inspiring, even the last one that we heard, inspiring pitches and ideas. So that's something that it's very promising. And then I have something that I wanted to say last night, but then I forgot. I was so surprised. But we are, and coming from, let's say, the western part of Europe, we are going through very weird times. And suddenly, I'm Italian, and the French are not that fun anymore, and we don't like them. It is true. I mean, our government, they fight. And I used to live in Spain, and the Spaniards, they don't like the Catalans. And I used to live in Barcelona, and I think that's very weird. And although I pretend to consider myself into the youth category, I do have to acknowledge that I've been spending some decades on this planet, and in the last 5 years have been quite shocking in terms of how we are going, not in a most exciting direction. And when I come here, I think that you should be aware of a very unique community, and you have nothing to envy or to copy or imitate. You can take the best, and actually I think we can learn from you. And SEEDIG is one of those things that it shows that your tradition, cultures, ideas, closeness and way and history and common history, it can actually be a lead for going forward. And I think from the western part of Europe we can learn a lot of that, as we are learning from SEEDIG. So be aware of what you have, be proud of it, be proud of SEEDIG, own it, and make it grow. Because what really hurts me the most is to see how, at the end of the day, yes, we are growing, but not as I hope, and I am sure that we could. I mean, this discussion are discussion that I'm sure will be interesting for hundreds, thousands of people. Maybe growing too much will be too difficult, and there are some structural limitation. But if you shake it up and you will think about SEEDIG next week, tomorrow, in 3 days, give it some time. Think how you can expand it and own it even more, and think about SEEDIG as a model that can produce not only a beautiful conference, but some answers to those that are the question of our time. And those are huge, massive questions. And those are questions where we saw in the last panel, we don't have clear answers. I think we are starting to get some clear picture that not everything is going that well. But answers, you can look to Brussels, and I'm sorry, May 26th is coming up. And probably you will have bad surprises in Brussels. You can look to Washington D.C. and listen to the crazy guy with the Twitter, and it's. But maybe you shouldn't. You should look what you have inside and try to to be proud and bring it forward. So that's what I wanted to close. And thank you again. And looking forward for the 6th or 7th SEEDIG. I don't remember now. Thank you.
Also, I would wanted to thank all of you. What? No, I won't stand up. I want to thank all of you for the participation to SEEDIG. It was an amazing year, and I tell you it was an amazing year because SEEDIG doesn't stop here. It goes throughout the year with all the community and the active community members and all the other activities we do, like the C summary and what? We just published also, like the day before yesterday, yes. And yeah, and the community and the participants is what they make the SEEDIG great, and the people that they shape the SEEDIG and the program and everything. So to all of you, thank you.
Thank you, Haris. If there's no one else, and I don't see any hand up. Oh, I see one.
Very shortly, just I've never seen the generation gap being this comfortable at another event, so I think that's something to compliment you about. So compliments about the organization. I think that the events of SEEDIG create like a new culture, and not only that, they bootstrap it at a whole new level. So that deserves the attention of the public. Speaking about this, I would just say that maybe I lacked the aspect of the activists, because there are a lot of NGOs like gender rights or LGBT rights. So maybe this aspect is something that can add even more value to the sessions and to the format of the sessions. Thanks.
Okay, I'm looking around for last time. I see some happy people there. Do you want to say something? No, I guess not. So we'll move towards the end. You have heard about the youth school and our students. They have gone through quite an extensive program which started in January or February. So they went through some online courses, they learned about internet governance, and the best of them, the initial class, were here in Bucharest this week. And we want to recognize their contribution to SEEDIG, their participation in the program, and we're going to hand over some diplomas. So guys, congratulations. And the end of SEEDIG 5 doesn't mean that you're just going home and that's it. You are part of the SEEDIG community, and we expect you to contribute to whatever we're doing. So on that note, Sonia. Do you want to go up? It has to be very formal for photos. So we have Alexandra first. And if Alexandra is not in the room, she is in the room.
Whoever's not in the room is in trouble.
Thank you. Wait.
Okay. We're gonna order.
It will take us forever. Thank you.
Vladislava Martin. Vladislava Martin.
Long nights are gone, baby. Water's been waiting long.
Tamar's up here. Marina Bzovi.
We float on the river of time. Hope steady.
Georgi Alatshlevi.
The sea comes 'cause the summer falls down.
Close enough.
Tamara is there in front, right? Isn't she at the table?
Both for the change of the tides. Hold steady, hold steady. Storm for hours and rain days. And all our lives we're
Derya Güçdemir.
the stream will take us home.
Hivi Amenti.
Sun rays touch the coastline. Warm
Ana
my
Ivanovic.
feet, shoulder clear. We walk through the sand in the warm night. The water will take the way from
Yanina Koryenko.
and all our lives we're told. The stream will take us home.
Is Tamar here? Tamar Abzian Se.
Lives we're told. The stream will take us home.
Vasile Popa. Stefan Filipovic. Christine Gerovian. I'm sorry.
We sail
Daniel Kalemi. You all know him by now.
skylights up.
And Artemia Dimitra Korovesi.
And that wraps up our youth school. Once again, guys, thank you. You have been amazing. We've missed, do we still have? Yes, we will have some group photo. Anyone missing their diplomas? We haven't handed over diplomas to anyone? You're probably lost in a bag. Nikos, we recognize you as well. No, but it's not the end. We'll have the photos at the end. Yeah, we missed we missed 2 diplomas, so we'll have some pictures with the wrong diplomas, right? Okay, and before everyone can go, I just have to thank the core team who has actually made this SEEDIG 5 possible, and I need my agenda because otherwise I will miss someone and someone will be angry at me, so. The core team for SEEDIG 5. I'll start with our interns, Stelios and Tatiana, who have left, and we still have Luminica here. Luminica, if you can just raise your hand so people can know you. Luminica has been our local intern and he's been extremely supportive. Okay. Next we have a team of people who are supporting us with online stuff, multimedia, and also comms, and I will start with Anna. Thank you also, Anna. Haris, who's just spoken a bit earlier, and yeah, that's the multimedia. And Marco, who I hope, yeah, Marco is also there. Thank you, Marco. The good part is that all of them have actually been SEEDIG Youth School Fellows or part of the fellowship program, and they're now part of the community, literally helping it grow and do all these kind of things. With them sponsoring. On the research and survey side, we have Yana and Sarah, who are not here with us, but they have done amazing work on those things. The program committee, none of them is here anymore. I'm not even seeing them. Well, Andrea, we still have Andrea and Sergo probably. Thank you, and Zdravko. The program committee is actually the team who has made this program possible, and Dusan there, our colleague in the executive committee, has been leading all these efforts. Thank you, guys. We also have Dusan Stoicevic, who's been helping us with web support a lot and part of our community from the beginning. Because I was asked to mention the sponsors, this will be long, but I will be doing it. So many thanks to our sponsors, which are somewhere on my list. Internet Society, Web Network Coordination Center, ICANN, IGF Support Association, Indaco, Affilias, the Serbian Registry, WePat, Serbian Open Exchange, Taylor, PMI Consulting, Public Research, Coral 33, and Spark System. Many thanks to our sponsors. Indeed, the meeting wouldn't have been possible without their financial contributions, and we hope to keep them around. And last but not least, on a personal note, many thanks to my colleagues in the executive committee. These days you have heard a lot about Sorina, but SEEDIG is not about Sorina, and my team is actually SEEDIG. So, Yana, thank you. Yana, please stand up. Sonia. Thank you, Sonia. Sasho. Thank you to Sasho, who's not in the room, and Dusan. And that wraps SEEDIG 5, and we look forward to seeing you all at SEEDIG 6, and enjoy Bucharest. Thank you, everyone.